All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac here on 1010XL's podcast platform, as I am in the 1010XL podcast studio, fresh off the radio on Jaguars today. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and now you're over here for Catching Up with Tommy Mac, brought to you by Team Tommy Mac, just a group of great businesses that are there for you. I sent a post out yesterday. I know with the storm coming through, God bless all you out there. Hope you're all doing fine. I know you're not, but those that are struggling, man, I hope it gets better quick, and hopefully you get a lot of help out there. I think you will, and I hope you will. But they're there for you, whether it's insurance, you need new flooring, you need some financial help, whatever it may be, food, they're there for you. Go to TommyMac.net and check them all out, and you'll see them on Facebook as I tag each and every one of them. Of course, a big week in the National Football League, at least for me, because the Jags taking on the Bears over in London, and should be a good matchup. The Bears at 3-2, Jags, of course, at 1-4. Both quarterbacks coming off massive weeks a week ago. Pretty similar, actually. Their numbers on the year have been somewhat similar. Caleb Williams under more duress, I think, than Trev, as our O-line has done a pretty good job keeping him clean as of late. But we're going to look at the quarterbacks. We're going to look at the Bears as a whole. We're going to, of course, go through the stat lines. And we're also going to talk about how to fix this Jaguar defense. I have some ideas that we will get into a little bit later on, because right now that seems to be the Achilles heel for this team. Giving up big plays, not getting off the field on third down, giving up a lot of passes down the field. I'll give you a stat. Our yards per attempt against our defense is 8.1 yards per throw at a 70% completion percentage. Think about that. That's throwing the ball down the field, throwing the ball downfield at a high rate of success. That's not good. Well, how do you do that, do you think? I know everyone's complaining about coverage, and I'm not saying you're wrong. But if you don't have pressure on the QB, forget about it. Just forget about it. I don't care how good your defenders are. You can't cover for that long without pressure in the quarterback's face, without feeling like he's going to get hit. Can coverage help pressure? Yes. If I have sticky coverage, say I got a man-to-man guy that just sticks, right? Nobody can get by him. Can if that quarterback has to double pump and give my D-line an extra step? Yeah, of course that can help. But the opposite works even more effectively, because that's rare. Rare that you get a corner that can stick like that, but not rare that you get pressure from the interior of your defensive line. We're just not seeing it enough here in Jacksonville. I'll tell you what, the Bears defense, they're really good against the pass. They're not, or they're really, and I should say, they're really good on third down. Their defense, but they give up almost 5 yards a carry on defense against the run. So what do you think we should do? Test them and test them early, and then do some play action. Brisker's out. That's going to be a big loss for them. He's a great safety, one of the better players on their team. You still have Jalen Johnson. Another corner's hurt as well, who's questionable, now doubtful. I think they downgraded him. So you're going to, look, it's going to be an interesting battle of who can cover who and who can make the plays. I mean, it is each and every week on Sunday. No doubt about that. How about these two quarterbacks finally breaking? Now, one's a rookie, one's a 4-year player. I know we don't count year one, at least a lot of you don't. It's not a fair year. Anyway, 4-year quarterback versus the number one pick, both number one picks. Caleb Williams having a good year so far, man, when given time. If you go back to when they got beat by the Texans, they sacked him 7 times. Can we have that kind of success? I mean, Trayvon had 3 by himself. Josh Allen had another one, which Trayvon set up. There's 4. Can we get a few more and really harass this young QB? He is good. He is good. But it's still early to tell me how good he is, because we just don't know. But can we find out? Yeah, let's find out if we can rattle his ass. Let's get some pressure. Let's get into how we fix this defense. And it's not just against the Bears, although they're next up. So let's put this in there. Implement it, if you will. I feel like Ryan Nielsen's still trying to figure out who he has at what position and how he's going to play them. I do think you got to quit the rotation so much. I do. All those positions, linebackers and D-line. Here's what I want Ryan Nielsen to do. What's he known for? Press coverage. That's an aggressive style. Not off coverage. Not get in your face and then open my gate so you can just run your route and I'm going to try to, trail you. But press. But get in those guys' face and dictate how they get off the line of scrimmage. Now, you got your hands full. DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, the rookie. Of course, Keenan Allen, now healthy. Kmet. Swift's not bad out of the backfield either, right? But go back to what you do best and put those guys in position that do that best. I don't care the money. I don't care the draft pick. I don't care anything. Put the best guys there that can play press on the outside. Okay? That's number one. Number two, set your defensive front and keep it. You're going to bring guys in. I'm not saying that, but you cannot get in a rhythm. That was like preseason when you're still fighting for a job or the starting job. The coach would, put one guy in for a series, take him out, put the next guy in. You can't get in a rhythm, man. You need some time out there. And if they're not in condition, well, then get them in condition. But I'm telling you, like I've said, I want Armstead on the inside and I want Mason Smith on the other side. You can give me Roy Robertson Harris. You can give me, D Ham as coming in. I don't need a rotation though. You need to spell them. What does that mean? Give them a breather. But let's keep our best guys on the field at all times. Like when Foye comes back, don't take him off the field. Find a way to keep him on the field with Ventrell Miller. Here's another thing. Foye and Ventrell Miller are my two inside guys. When Foye's back, they are. Ventrell Miller will never leave the field. Now, when Foye comes back, we'll figure out that dime personnel because Foye's pretty good at it. I think Ventrell Miller's your best cover linebacker on the team. And he hits, and he thumps, and he runs, and he's really good. So what do you do with Lloyd? Listen, I think he can be a really effective rusher inside. He has shown that. I wrote in my notes, let's implement the bat package. We had the bat with Joel Schmingy, and Devin Lloyd can do it all day long. The bat gets to roam between the ends and the nose tackle. He's the fourth D lineman, and he runs games. What are games, Tom? Like exits, like twists. So if I'm playing bat, let's say this is the nose. My center's here, right? And I'm playing bat behind. I'm kind of messing around pre-snap. Ball snap. Boom, I hit the center. He comes around me, and we both go. It's all different kinds of stunts you can do with the bat. I think Devin Lloyd could be used that way. I do like him against the run. He is getting better. I know he's made some mistakes, too. But he worries me in coverage. And I don't care about the grade. PFF me all these nuts. I don't care. I don't even know what they're looking at half the time. The eye test doesn't match the grade, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's bad, but I think Ventrell Miller's that much better, especially in coverage. I'm worried about Muma in coverage. I am. I think Muma's okay against the run. He tries hard. He plays physical. But I don't think he's the best linebacker for us out there. Maybe in short yardage, that kind of thing. Devin Lloyd short yardage, maybe. Devin Lloyd up on the ball in third down or passing situations. But I think you got to get back to those kind of things. I think that's what this defense is missing. Enough with the science experiment. You know what I mean? Enough with let's figure it out. No, like for instance, I'm looking at Darby last couple weeks, but last week. What do we know about Darby? What does he do best? What has he always done best? What is he known for in the league as far as coverage is concerned? Grammage, I'll let you answer it.
Press.
Man-to-man press, or zone press. So why is he off? He struggles off. And why is he doing this open gate thing? He did it a couple times last week where he's on the line of scrimmage, ball snap, and then I forget what they call it. It's some kind of, so you get in a trail position. It's hard to do that without pressure. Get in his face, knock him off his stride, try to dictate the route. Buster can do that too if he's out there. If it's Tyson, well, then he's good at that as well. But get back to that. Quit all this experimenting in these coverages and whatnot. Do what got you here. What got you here? Aggressiveness, accountability, being able to get after the QB consistently, with coverage, with press. Get back to that. That's what I would do. Enough screwing around and enough, I was saying earlier, Grammage, I don't know if you're, enough of this rotation. Bring in guys to spell your starters. Name your starting group, make them your starters, and then have guys come in to spell them when they get tired. Or it's a passing situation and you're going to put another pass rusher out there. Fine. Keep Armstead inside. I know on occasion you can throw him at end if you got Trayvon next. Hey, as long as I got Armstead, Trayvon, and Josh Hines-Allen on the same line, rushing the passer, I'll take it. I'd rather have them inside, but I'll take it. As long as they're all out there together. And then give me the fourth.
But maybe, how are they? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
How are they going to all be on the same line if Armstead's not inside?
Well, on a passing down, they've put Trayvon inside. They've already done that. Yeah. So Armstead will go on the outside, Trayvon on the inside, Josh Hines-Allen all the way on the other side.
That needs to be flipped.
Yeah. Well, it's okay to switch it up, but I agree with you because Armstead doesn't appear to be fast enough to play end. He just doesn't get there fast enough, but he does on the inside. So I want to see that, and I want to see more Mason Smith. I want to know why Jordan Jefferson's not even sniffing the field or getting out. Is he no good? If he's no good, then put him on the practice squad and see if anybody picks him up. But he is good, or you wouldn't protect him. Or you think he's good, or you wouldn't protect him the way you protect him. Because he's on the 53, you just don't activate him. So what's the problem? Is he not worth it? I don't know. I don't know the answer. We didn't see enough of him in camp. He was injured a lot. So maybe it's taking him time to know what's going on. I don't know. But that's a fourth-round pick I want to see out there. I've seen Roy Robertson-Harris. I've seen Hamilton. They give you a couple plays, but they don't do much more than that, do they? That's fair. The stats show it. Still 44% on third down on defense. So anyway, back to that. You got to get pressure inside. Pressure on the outside's great if you can get to him. A lot of times that quarterback just steps up, steps out, makes a throw. You got it. And I don't care if blitz the backers. The great thing about blitz and backers on the inside, if it's not a pass, you can still blitz to the run. Right? It's still the same blitz. You're just going to hit a back instead of a quarterback. You just got to be ready for it, right? You got to see it. But you can still run those blitzes and protect yourself. So that's how I would fix this defense. Go back to what got you here, what you know best, and why you brought these free agents in. Right? Keep Savage out there. I made a mistake. I didn't think he had one bad play, maybe two, but he actually played okay last week. I called him out when I shouldn't have. Cisco and Antonio John. Look, he's got to just. I already said, well, he's got to lose weight, get on the jump rope, get a little quicker. He's got to not have that tunnel vision. He should have seen that guy coming. By the way, Fat Tony, made a great point on the radio. Miami did the same thing with Tyreek. Remember? He was on the left side. He ran a deep cross over to who? Over to Cisco. Cisco was what? Late. Remember? He turned a corner. He had the angle. Granted, Hill's fast, but he was late on the break. What happened against the Colts? Same thing. Here comes Alec Pierce from the other side. Where are they going? To Cisco. Guess what every coordinator's going to do from now? They're going to go from the other side of the field to Cisco and see if they can get a mismatch. And they may find one. And then Antonio Johnson, look, I still like him, but he's got to tackle better, and he's got to be better with the ball in the air. Look, that throw to the tight end, that was in the catch to Allie Cox for the Colts. That was just a great play. It was a little lucky. You know what I mean? I don't think Flacco pinpointed it, but he put it in the right area, kind of threw it up. The guy made a play. We got to be the ones that make that play. We got to be the ones that make the play. So I'm not yet to give up on Cisco, but he does have to play a lot better. He was this rising star. Rising. Like this year was the year for him. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's got to get better. Got to get a little bit quicker. So that's how I would fix this defense. Go back to what you're good at. Go back to what you know and stick with it. And if you're not getting there with 4, then bring more and put pressure. Look, I don't know. Think of it this way, okay? If I can't get pressure with 4 and then I bring extra, I leave my guys out on an island, right? My secondary. But if I don't get there with 4, they're on an island anyway. Are they not? You're going to get beaten zone. You're going to get beaten in man without a rush, without any pressure. So what difference does it make? I mean, these guys, there's some firepower in this offense. I don't know about their line. Their line's, You know, they got a couple. Tevin Jenkins, a big-time player. They got some beef on the old line now. Their right side's massive. Darnell Wright's a big dude at 330. The next guy's Moyer or Hoyer, something like that. He's 6'7", 330 guard. They got some beef. But they give up sacks, 17 to date. We've only given up 13, 12 with Trev. And they're good. They're not very good at pounding the football. They're only averaging 3.4 yards a carry. You'd think a Bears team would have a better, running game, but they don't. Caleb Williams is the best per average runner, and DeAndre Swift he's only averaging 3.2 yards a carry, but he can be a problem out of the backfield catching the ball. So that's another guy you're gonna have to cover down. So put the pressure on them, dictate them, and if you're gonna bring in a guy like Darby, don't play him off. You don't like off. He's not good at it. Give him his best chance. And got to get some pressure, man. Got to get some pressure.
Can I give you a key to victory, Tommy?
Throw it at me, babe.
First and second down defensively.
You babe, but not in that kind of sense. You know what I'm saying?
First and second down defensively.
Yep.
Get them behind the chains.
Yeah. Little TFL.
You get them in some 3rd and 11s, some 3rd and 12s.
Yeah.
The Bears, knowing the type of player Caleb Williams is, he's a great player.
He is.
Ridiculously talented. But I think if you get him in disadvantageous situations like that, considering their line has given up a decent amount of sacks, they're going to give up some sacks if that happens.
Yep.
A couple of 3rd down sacks, and I think Caleb might throw you 1 or 2. I think if you're pressing down, especially second half, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, trying to force things, I think you can get a couple turnovers here.
It's for any quarterback, but a rookie quarterback that gets flustered, that gets rattled, that starts seeing ghosts, it's tough. It's tough, man, especially when if you hit him enough. He's not a big kid. He's 6'1", like 215. He's ridiculously talented. I mean, the kid is. I mean, Caleb, what a great find. I'm so far. Well, it's only 5 games, but he looks the part. But if you can get him rattled, he will make mistakes. They may be big, but that don't mean shit because they're only averaging 3.2 yards a carry. If they're that big and powerful, they're averaging a lot more than that. You know what I mean? As an offensive line. So Tevin Jenkins is the other guard, and he's a big boy too. But so what? They're not collectively. They don't feel. I bet you. Well, it's easy. You see it on paper. What's their weak link on offense? It's their old line. They've got great. I mean, their skill positions are great. Keenan Allen's only played in 3 games, so he's healthy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how you cover down? Who's covering who? Who's covering who? Let's talk about it. Who are you covering down? We've got you got DJ Moore, you've got Odunze, and then throw in Keenan Allen in the slot. Okay, let's just start with them. So we're gonna go Darby on whoever comes out the right side, Buster or Tyson on the other guy. I would imagine, right? I don't think Tyson's playing. You think Tyson's gonna play? He's practicing.
Yeah. I think he's going to play.
If you rush that, I'm telling you, if he hurts that hamstring again, that's a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I hope he's healthy and he's back because we need all hands on deck for this one. No question about it. Okay, let's say he's playing. That helps a ton. Now you can put him on left, Darby on right, whoever ends up, right?
Yeah.
And then Savage on the slot. And keep the safeties for now. I don't think Wingert's going to – he'll be a nice shot in the arm, but I'm not counting on that. I'm interested to see if Gibson – he had a good year last year, for the 49ers. He really did. He played really well for them. So maybe he's an upgrade.
It's after next game he's eligible to come back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He took the trip. So I think he's after – no, he had 6 games. That's right. It was 6-game suspension.
So I believe he could play in the Patriots game.
Okay. Oh, really?
I think,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Good. They took him on the trip.
Because they're 1-4. They've played 5 games.
Yep.
The Bears is going to be their 6th game.
Oh,
so
yeah,
7th game.
right.
Yeah.
Where's my math? Yeah, right. So that's why they brought him, so he could play in the New England game. Good. All right, let's take a look at the 2 quarterbacks who, by the way, last week both had monster days. They did. I mean, this is what we're talking about the defensive side. This is what happens on offense. When my quarterback has time, they're going to make the throws. I mean, it's the tale as old as time. You know what I mean? Like, give the guy a chance to throw, and I'll make the throw. Because there's always a hole in zone, and man's really tough. And if I put it in the right spot, my guy's going to catch a rock for the most part and have a chance. They'll make plays too. But if I have time, and you don't believe me, go watch Jake Browning last year. No offense, Jake. God bless you, but he put up 38 on us. We didn't touch him. And by the way, the last quarterback, so we played it, we didn't hit him enough. Stroud hurt us, right? Last week, Flacco ripped us apart.
Josh Allen
the week before that,
like the only competent game Deshaun Watson has had was against this defense.
Yeah, and had a good outing, actually. So that's what I'm talking about.
Deshaun Watson has been unplayable all year except in this game against the Jags. Right. I think that's one of the most damning things about this defense to date this year.
So I think, again, back to the defense, Grammage, then quit screwing around trying to, do all these experiments. The experimenting's over. Put your best freaking players out there, play what you know, and play what they do best. And you don't come in 5 weeks and start changing stuff. Go back to what you're good at. So hopefully they can get it done. But back to the quarterbacks. They're having similar years for the most part. Caleb had a couple good games, but nothing lights out like last week. And then Trevor struggled and then lights out last week. Give him time, he'll do the same. And they're hurting on the secondary, the Bears are. So you got a chance there. I really think you got to run the rock. I do. I want to get ETN. I want to get him on that Sanborn, Jack Sanborn, that linebacker. I think that could be a mismatch. I like their 3 backers. The Bears got some good backers. Sanborn, the guy from the Bills that came over, Edmonds. And then there's a third guy that's pretty good. I don't think I wrote him down. But their backers are pretty good, and their secondary's good, except Brisker's out. So that should help us. And they got another, like I said, another injury on that secondary. So, that's where I think you're going to have a chance to beat this team. The Bears, look, they're 3-2. And it's funny. People are like, well, they haven't beaten anybody. I'm like, well, neither have we. The Colts aren't very good. They're not. Colts did beat the Bears, though. You're looking for a common match. After this game, they've played every AFC South team already.
That is crazy.
The Bears.
Yeah, because they played the Titans week 1.
Yep. And then they had Houston.
Yep. The Houston was that?
That was at Houston.
That was Sunday Night Football, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a close game, too, 19-13.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Listen, they got a tough defense overall. They're good against the pass. And then if Caleb gets time, he's gonna hurt you. I feel like this is the battle of the 2 QBs, though. 2 number 1 picks. Duel over across the pond. You know what I mean? Like tasty waves and cool buzz. That's what it's going to be like. And let's see who comes out on top. You got them winning? Who do you got winning?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So do I. I got 19-13, but Cam's going to have to kick big again, but I think he will.
Bears are overrated, in my opinion, right now.
Well, they're 3-2. They're not, the darling of the NFC by any means. They've won 2 in a row. They took care of Carolina. Like you're supposed to take care of Carolina, right?
The college teams take care of Carolina right now.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Not literally. Not literally.
Yeah, but they did. And so did we last year. So, throw that into the fire if you want or into the mix. But I got us 19-13. I think our and I don't know why our defense.
Some of the London games have funky scores like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. Maybe they're tired or whatever. By the way, I love all the travel agent experts on Twitter. You guys are awesome. Telling them when they should leave and when they shouldn't leave. And how dare they? I've never done it, so how do you know? I don't know. Bears have been there all week. Does that give them an advantage? I don't know. Maybe they went out drinking every night, so no.
Well, the Jags have done it. Like the thing about this trip is because the Jags have been doing it for so long, they've done it every which way.
Right.
And I think in reality, I mean, I will say I think the second week, I think that's a huge advantage. Yeah. The fact that you've already played a game on that with your body clock there.
Right.
That's a big second week. I think is a different conversation. The first week in the travel, man.
Yep.
Look, because you go back and you look at what they did and if they won or lost that year, right? Well, how good was the team?
Yeah. I mean, no, right. Well, and listen, I think the key to it all is not just you performing well over there, but that your schedule doesn't get screwed up for when you come home.
Yeah.
Like even the Bears, they may be there all week, and that's great, but how long is it going to take them to get back to Central Time in time for the next game, right? Unless they have a bye. Do you get a bye after London?
You have the
you have the choice. We're not taking the bye, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we took it later.
Doug has not taken one in the time that he's been.
And they
the coach.
fly right home after the game, I think.
Yeah, I actually agree with Doug on that because the London games are a little bit earlier in the season. If I was a coach, I would want my bye week as late as humanly possible.
Me. Same for me. All right, let's see. So Trevor, 59.6%, 7.1 yards per attempt, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks, 12 sacks. Caleb Williams, 62.9%, 6.4 yards per attempt, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks, 17 sacks, 7 came against Houston. Both of them can run as well. Caleb Williams has 2 running touchdowns. He's actually got the highest yards per carry average on the Bears. So keep him in the pocket if you can and get that inside rush going. I do think you're going to be able to run on the Bears, and I want to see both. I tell you, this is what ETN brings to the offense that Tank doesn't. So when ETN is out there, you don't know if it's going to be a run or pass, and you don't know if he's going to be in the route or not. A lot of times he is. And he can do it faking a handoff, going through the line, running an option route, being open, and catching the rock. Trevor feels very comfortable throwing to Travis Etienne Jr. and should. So that's a weapon to have. Now, if Tank could do all those things in the pass game, including pass protect, which we don't know if he can consistently yet, you probably wouldn't take him off the field, right? But that's the skill set Travis has that Tank doesn't. I'm not saying Tank can't catch the ball out of the backfield, but the way that Travis is built and the way he runs, he's a receiver. He could play receiver probably. It maybe a slot or something like that. Maybe have to lose a little weight to be quicker, but he's got that kind of route running, that kind of hand skill set, all that stuff. So that's why it's a good 1-2 punch. And as a former linebacker, that is, they're different. They're different. Tank brings a little more juice. He's got great cutting ability. He sees the field tremendously. I think that's one thing about Tank that we didn't see earlier. And I think it came from confidence. He sees the field really well. He don't get that tunnel vision when he's running. He makes some ridiculous cuts. So I like them both. But I think you got to commit to them both. And then that play action will help, right? Brisker not out, going over the middle of the field. That's where you can really work that play action. So I think, look, I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying we're going to start just pounding the rock. We passed first in this offense under Doug Peterson, but I think you're going to have to be committed to the run to really give yourself a chance on Sunday because they're really good against the pass. I mean, they are. They got 6 picks. We have 0 interceptions. Last year we had like 11 at this time, didn't we? Remember, we were on fire last year.
I think we had the highest turnover margin in the league.
You did.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep. So got to get back to that. It helps with pressure. There's no doubt about that. Our O-line's been playing pretty well. I expect that to continue. They do have some talent with Montez Sweat, without question. He's not a game breaker, but he can turn into one, right? I used A.J. Espinoza, or however you pronounce his name. Epineza. Sorry, A.J. Epineza from the Bills. Remember he went against Cam and ate his lunch. Sweat can do that to you if you don't handle him. He can, without a doubt.
Myles Garrett ate his lunch, too.
Well, Myles Garrett, yeah. He's going to work a lot of guys big time. But you don't want a guy like Montez Sweat to turn into a Myles Garrett because he's going against our tackles. You know what I'm saying? They played better last 2 weeks. O-line's been good. Let's hope it continues. Gervon Dexter's got 4 sacks, pretty big defensive tackle. They like him beefy up there in Chicago. And like I said, the backers are good. They're very active. They make a lot of plays. So they're only giving up 17 points a game. Guess what we're giving up? 28.6. Almost 29 points a game. Not good. Got to get better. No question about that. Looking forward to seeing us. Look, again, be physical up front. Hit Caleb as many times as you can and try to rattle him. They can't beat you in the ground. If they beat you in the running game, that means you just didn't show up. And then you should be in big trouble if that's the case. There's no excuse for that. So they can't beat you running the football. Caleb can beat you. He can. And those wideouts, and they can beat you if they have time. Most teams will. All you got to go look at last week. It wasn't coverage. It was a fact that Flacco had all day long to throw. All day long to throw most of the time. Not all of the time. All right, let's take a look at the team stats review brought to my good friends at Team Tommy Mac. They're great businesses, man. I got Carpet Man Flooring here. I love that commercial. I get stopped quite often. I love telling the story that we did it in 2 minutes. Came up with the jingle, came up with the words, and boom, let's shoot it. We did it. Probably the easiest work I've ever had to do. It was really quite nice, to be honest with you. Check out CarpetManFlooring.biz for their 2 great warehouses here in town. Highest quality at the lowest prices. Chris Lucero's bail bonds get thrown in the clink. They'll get you out in a blink. That's for sure, man. Him and his team, 24/7 service. Been doing it a long time, well-respected, and have all the right relationships to get you and or your loved ones out of jail when needed. 904-822-2245. J-Dog, junk removal and hauling. Of course, they're up and down the East Coast, but they're right here in Jacksonville. Make sure you call 844-GET-J-Dog when you want to get rid of your junk, because they don't see it as junk. They see it as opportunity. And they refurbish that opportunity and give it to veteran families that are in need. They're great, and they've got a hauling business as well for all you contractors and home builders. They got a ton of tins waiting for you to call them up and bring them out and fill them up, and then they'll take them away and bring them back. Great to have J-Dog on. Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, they've, been around since 1993, 30-plus years. The principal's still together. They're the number 1 commercial real estate agency right here in Northeast Florida, whether we're talking industrial, commercial, retail, investments, development. These guys are great. And hey, listen, I used to work for them 20 years ago, and didn't end up being my thing, but we've maintained best of friends, great friends, and they do it right every single time, or they wouldn't be on Team Tommy Mac. Code Ninjas, you hear me talk about them. Get your kid into the Code Ninjas after-school program. They'll learn about coding. They'll learn about security. They'll build games. They'll build all types of stuff only at Code Ninjas. Go to codeninjas.com. Azar Sausage, the number 1 sausage in the game, whether in your favorite dish or in a bun. Azar Sausage is the one. Check them out at Winn-Dixie and your local grocers. Fields Cadillac, my friends at Fields Cadillac. They're the title sponsor of Riding Shotgun. Got a new episode coming up next Wednesday, and love doing that show. I can't tell you who the guest is, but you'll know who they are because they'll be famous here in these parts. No doubt about that, and great to have them on board. Freedom Finance, listen, you need some help with your financial world, with your business. Whether it's fundraising, whether it's forecasting, whether it's just good old-fashioned accounting. Courtney Myers is the guy for you. Check them out online, freedomfinancellc.com. Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's, hot sauces, and their new Pineapple Ghost. Absolutely spicy yet sweet. Go to their website, familytraditionspecialtyfoods.com, and throw in Team Tommy Mac in the discount code and get a buy one, get one free. Salt Air Inn and Suites, they've been packed. If you want to get to the beach, get out of the rain, go to Salt Air Inn and Suites, 4 blocks from the ocean, 2 blocks from all the action. And they are fantastic. They're a boutique hotel with concierge service. That means they'll get you anything that you need to make your stay as great as it can be. No question about that. And Michael Nick is a State Farm agency. They are my State Farm agent. He is my agent. He handles all my insurance, whether it's auto, life, home, or supplemental health. Make sure you give them a call. Great team there at 904-777-6888. Of course, you can see them all at TommyMac.net. All right, let's go through the team stats review. I go through points, yards per carry, yards per attempt plus percentage, third down conversion rate, fourth down conversion rate, sacks given up and taken, interceptions thrown and picked, and then turnover ratio. I'll start with turnover ratio because as we've been talking, you can't win this way. The Bears are +5 in turnover ratio. The Jags are -3 in turnover ratio. It's a swing of 8 if I've done my math correctly, and that's going to be a tough one. You can't turn the ball over if you're going to win in this league. Trevor's done a good job not turning the ball over, but others have not. So we got to be better at that. And look, they've got 14 sacks, the Bears D, and 6 picks spread out pretty evenly across that secondary and in the linebacking core. I told you points per game. Bears only give up 17 a game. They only score 22.5, roughly. The Jags at 19.5 points. It's tough to get out. You know what? That hole they're in, points, that's like my grade point average my freshman year at BC. You know, I had a 1.4.
Oh, my God.
Semester. Yeah, I had a 1.4.
Really?
I've never said that publicly. Yeah. I had 3 D minuses.
Good thing you figured it out. Oh, my God.
Well, the good thing back then, like if you didn't fail, you were still eligible because the credits still counted. So I never fell behind in credits. I still took 15 credits and got them. But I had 3 D minuses. Let me tell you something. My dad was still in good shape back then. He almost took my head off, but I talked him out of it. Thank goodness. and I fixed it. Roughly. I got it up to a 1.89. That's what I graduated with from Boston College. Aren't you proud of me, Boston College? Sure you are. But yeah, let's just say I got into a rough hole and it was a tough one to climb out of. It feels like the Jaguars' offense points per game, right? They're 15th. Now they're at 19. Ooh, need to get that up there. And then defensively, we're giving up 28.5 points. That's not good enough. The last 3 teams are indicative of what can happen when we don't get after the quarterback. That's got to be better. No question about that. Now, hear me out on this one. Yards per carry, Grammage. Listen to this. We are averaging 5.7 yards per carry. They give up 4.8. Good match. Yeah, I think so. They run 3.4 yards per carry. We give up 4.1. So we should be better at that too. I think that could be one of the keys to winning this football game. Making sure that you pound the rock enough to keep them off balance, hit them with the play action, hit Brian Thomas Jr. and Kirk deep, stay committed to that run, and then on the other side, feel confident, you know what, I'm just going to shut your run down and make Caleb Williams beat us. I think that should be the game plan. We'll see if it happens. But to me, that is a point of attack if you're asking me. All right, yards per attempt. We're at 6.8 per attempt at 60% completion percentage. And they give up 6.4. I think the pass is going to be challenging this. I don't think we're going to have the output that we had in the passing attack this week against the Bears. But guess what? I don't care. Just get a victory. Just get a victory. Our defense gives up 8.1 yards per attempt at 70% completion. That means quarterback has time and he's making the throws downfield. That is not good. They're at 6.4 at 63. Let's keep them there as well. All right, third down conversion. We're terrible on offense. They're not much better. We're terrible on defense. They're a lot better. So that could be another tough one. Got to get off the field. We give up 44% on defense, almost 50%, close. 1 out of 2, terrible. And then we're at 26% on offense. So 1 out of 4 I'm only converting 1 out of 4 times. It's hard to win in the league with that. They're not much better at 33.8%, better than ours, but their defense under 29% on third down. Really, really good. Fourth down, they're 7 of 10. They go for it quite a bit. We're 5 of 12. Well, thought we'd have a better conversion on that. We're on defense, 6 of 8 for our D, 3 of 7 for their D. Sacks, we've given up 13. They've given up 17. Our defense has 11. They have 14. And I already gave the interception numbers and the turnover ratio margin. So, look, I'm picking them to win the Jags. On paper, I think it's pretty challenging, to be honest with you. I do. I until we can figure out how we're going to cover down their weapons, how we're going to control. Look, and it will be the rhetoric, whether you agree with it or not. If the Bears win, it'll be Caleb beats Trevor. That's what it'll be. And then they'll be going through that again. You got momentum from beating Indy. Now, Indy wasn't pretty. It was pretty on offense, but terrible on defense, at least down the stretch. Those plays should have never happened. And you got to keep the foot on the gas, man. Ryan Nielsen, put them in the position to dictate what that offense is going to do, at least try to. This is going to be a tough one, man. We need this victory because let me tell you, it doesn't get any easier. Right? New England's got Drake Mayan. Maybe they're vulnerable. They got a good defense. Houston's got them this week. I got New England beating them just because their defense. We'll see. I'm not sold on Drake May either, but you know what? Maybe it's a spark they need. After that, you've got Green Bay at home. Green Bay's beatable, but they're a tough team. You got Minnesota coming up. You got Houston again. So you got to get some wins. You come back, I don't even want to say it, but if you don't come back winless in London, people should be fired. Sorry, I hate saying that, but they probably should. And you're done for the year. You don't come out of a 1-7 hole or whatever it would be. 1-6. That's tough to come out of. Well, I shouldn't say you don't, but most teams do not. And then we're going to be hearing about trade deadlines, all this crap. What is the trade deadline? Next week? These rumors I'm hearing, I don't want to hear them. I'm not trading anybody. Go and win 2 games. You're back to 3-4, and you got a shot at this thing. Don't give up yet. You got to take it 1 game at a time. So hopefully you can take care of the Bears, and then then you got New England. You can beat New England. Both teams are beatable. There's no doubt. I will tell you this. Look, man, I know they're 1-4, and aside from Buffalo and what Flacco did to you on defense, they're games we could have won those games. And I go back to 96 when we were 1-3 and 3-6 or whatever we were. We didn't feel like we weren't we felt like we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's going to click eventually. Will it click for them this week? It clicked on offense and special teams last week. It didn't click on defense. Can we get all 3 on the same page and really put together a good game? I don't know. We're going to find out on Sunday. I'm looking forward to the 9:30 kickoff because I'll be making bacon, eggs, all types of stuff, pancakes. I like the early game. I don't want it every week, but I don't mind it. They got football on all day, all morning, all night.
I don't like the super early game. I like it in spurts, like you're talking about. Yeah. I'm really jealous of our Central Time friends.
Yeah,
that get noon kickoff. Noon is better than 1.
It's better than 1.
It is.
What about 10 for the West Coast?
A little early for me.
I don't know. I kind of like having breakfast and watching ball.
I think the best sports watching time zones are Mountain Time and Central.
Okay.
NFL, Mountain Time, you get 11 a.m. kick.
Yep.
Central, you get noon.
Okay.
College football, you get 10 and 11. And then the Sunday night games are not quite as... That's the part that kills me, is the night games ending so late.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't make it.
That's annoying.
I never make it.
It's because I want to watch night games, bro.
Yeah, no.
I mean, that weather-delayed game on last Sunday night, the Steelers-Cowboys game...
Forget about it.
Dude, it was like 1 a.m. by the time the game ended. I mean, that's... That's annoying in Eastern time. That sucks.
You know what I did last night to put a smile on your face?
What's up?
Came home from a hurricane party. My wife was like, you've been really snoring really loud. And, she's like, because the girls were out of the house for the night, all three of them. I was like, listen, if I wake up and you're in the other room, I'm just going to go in there. I can't sleep without you. I can't go to sleep. So I said last night, I'm like, all right, why don't you go to bed early? You go to bed. I'm going to grab a little snack and turn on the TV, and I'll give you a head start. Like, you'll go to sleep. So, yeah, nice buzz. Nice bowl of chocolate ice cream. I threw some Lorna Doone cookies on the bottom and smashed it all
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And I get in the couch. It's like 11 o'clock. And I know I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I'm scrolling through Xfinity. I'm watching, like movies. There's Predator. Click. Wow. Woke up. That's the thing on my stomach. Oh my God! I watched maybe the opening scene and then fell asleep after I ate it. But I want to watch it. Oh man, I love that movie. Arnold back in his prime, man. That was good stuff. All right, that's gonna do it for us this time around here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Hey, make sure you check out TommyMac.net. Please, you'll see all the coverage here, and don't forget the YouTube channel for 1010XL. They also got the YouTube Jaguar channel as well. You see this show and many others, and other shows, and including Graham's show with Pockets. When is this show on the Gators? What is it? Gators?
Denmark and Marsh.
Denmark and Marsh.
And it's all about the Gators. We normally do an early week and a midweek show. It's typically Monday, Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday, Thursday.
Yep.
And then we do a post-game Gator reaction show in the game.
Check out Gramage's show with Dylan Denmark, and you can find that on the 1010XL YouTube channel, all over social media. All right, that'll do it. Be safe, stay cool, and be safe. And we'll see you next time right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Peace.